bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. So we had seen the Panchadvarika Vitis, right? 75 Panchadvarika Vitis, right?
Yes.
Okay. So let's do for a moment. Remember, let's do one of those Vitis and let's see the Jati, the Vatu, the Dwara, and the Aramana of each. So remember, we had Kamaja Rupa, Kamachita Utu Ahara Rupa, right? Aharaja Rupa. Kamaja Rupa arrives every Anuchitta Khana. Kama. Chitta Jarupa arrives every? Yes, every Upada Khana of the Chittas. So every Chitta Khana. Then Kamachita Utu Jarupa, every Anuchitta Khana. And Ahara Jarupa also every Anuchitta Khana, remember? Then the Vatu and the Rupa as object must be of the same age. This word, age, right? Must be of the same age, right? So we have, for example, Rupa Ramana arises. How long it takes for arising of Rupa Ramana? How much is this period? The Upada of Rupa Ramana. This is one Anuchitta Khana, right? And then we have the Titikkhana, which goes for 49 Anuchitta Khana. And then we have Banga Khana, which is one Anuchitta Khana, right? So this is one Anuchitta Khana, this is 49 Anuchitta Khana, and this again is one Anuchitta Khana. Okay, now this is the object. So now the Vatu, the sensitivity in which this object strikes must also be of the same age. So if this is Rupa Ramana, for example, Rupa Ramana, the Pasada, Chaku Pasada, Pasada is also of the same age, and it lasts also the same. Okay, together. So they are of the same age. Now, when this object arises, the Vatu also arises, and then remember it cannot impinge on the first mind moment. So we have, for example, the first mind moment over here. It cannot impinge on this mind moment, but we mark its arising with the Atita Bhavaka, right? Then we have, it may strike at any moment after the first mind moment, right? So it may strike on the second mind moment, for example, Na. Remember? Na, Chalana, and then Upacheda. Two vibrations of Bhavanga. We come from Bhavanga, right? These are Bhavangas over here. And Upacheda. The flow of Bhavanga is cut. And now we start the Viti. So what is that Chitta you tell me? Huh? PA. Okay, this is Rupa Ramana. So Chakku Vijnana, right? Sampatichana, Sampirana, Vodhapana, and then we have 7 jhanas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 jhanas, and then we have Tadara. So what object is this? Among the Visaya Bhavati, what is the presentation of object? Atimahanta. Yes, Atimahanta, right? Okay. And then after Tadaramana we have Bhava. Okay. More or less aligned to this, but let's see the Vatu of each of these rupas. What is the Vatu? Here, Bhavanga. What is the Vatu? Let's do Vatu. These chittas have the same Vatu. What is the Vatu? Hadaya Vatu, yes. Hadaya Vatu. All of these chittas, right? Okay. Panchadara Vajana? Hadaya Vatu as well. Chakku Vinyana? Chakku Vatu, right? Chakku Vatu. Chakku Vatu, right? Supporting the Chakku Vinyana. Okay. Sampadichana? Hadaya Vatu. Santirana? Hadaya Vatu Vatapana? Hadaya Vatu. All the Javanas also? Hadaya Vatu. Tadaramanas? Also Hadaya Vatu. So all of these chittas are in the Hadaya Vatu. Okay. This is it. You see, only Chakku Vinyana, only 10 Vinyana are not in the Hadaya Vatu. Easy, right? Now, what is the Dwara of these chittas? Right? Chakku Dwara, right? Chakku Dwara. Okay, so the Vatu finished. Now the Dwara of these chittas. Remember, also there is Chakku Dwara, Sutta Dwara, Ghana Dwara, Jiva Dwara, Kaya Dwara, and Mano Dwara. 5 material, 1 immaterial Dwaras. So what is the Dwara of these chittas? Santaveer. 6 Dwara? What is the Dwara? This is, for example, if you had to answer, what is this? Are these chittas in Dwara or out of Dwara? Yes, Dwara Muttaka. Dwara Muttaka chittas, these, right? Dwara Muttaka chittas. These chittas, we can call them the Mano Dwara. This, they are the Mano Dwara. Yes, because they are Bhavanga. Bhavanga is the Mano Dwara. Pacheda as well. Yes. Okay, so these are the Mano Dwara. We don't say they are Mano Dwarika. Not Mano Dwarika. Mano Dwarika are the chittas that arise in the Mano Dwara Viti, right? Remember? 67, I think it was. So this is the Mano Dwara, not Mano Dwarika. Right? Okay, Mano Dwara. What about the other chittas? Pancha Dwara Vajana, for example. What is the Dwara of Pancha Dwara Vajana? 6 door? 5 door. It's a 5 door chittas. Could be in either of the 5 doors, right? But in this Viti we have Chakku Vinyana. So what is the door of Pancha Dwara Vajana? Chakku Dwara. Yes. So this is Chakku Dwara, okay? Chakku Vinyana is in which Dwara? Chakku Dwara as well, right? Because it arises due to the striking of an object on the Chakku Dwara. So, Chakku Dwara. Chakku Dwara is the Dwara. Sampatichana? Chakku Dwara. Santirana? Chakku Dwara. Okay, these are all Chakku Dwarika chittas. All the chittas in the Viti are Chakku Dwarika chittas. Don't mix it with Vatu. Vatu you have here, Hadaya Vatu, and this one, Chakku Vatu, you see? But Dwara is different. All of the chittas in this Viti are Chakku Dwarika chittas. Panchadwara is Hadaya Vatu. Yes, Panchadwara is Hadaya Vatu. Remember we had 6 Vatu, Chakuvatu, Sotavatu, Ghanavatu, Jivavatu, Kayavatu, Hadayavatu. So they are all material, right? They are all material. All vatus are material. And Chakuvatu is the vatu for which chittas? 2 Chakuvinyanas, right? Kusala Vipaka or Akusala Vipaka. 2 Chakuvinyanas, they arise with this Chakuvatu as vatu. But Sotavatu, 2 Sotavinyana. Ghanavatu, 2 Ghanavinyana. Jivavatu, 2 Jivavinyana. Kayavatu, 2 Kayavinyana. And then all the other chittas, Hadayavatu. So it's easy. 10 Vinyana in the 5 vatus, 5 first vatus. And then all the other chittas, 79 chittas, actually 75 chittas, right? 75 chittas in the Hadayavatu. Why 75? Because 4 Arupa Vipaka do not arise with Vatu, right? Okay. So this is the Dwara of these chittas. Chakudwarika chittas. Now, if we had to say, okay, what is the object of these chittas? Bhavanga. What is the object of Bhavanga? Kamma, Kamma Nimitta, Gati Nimitta. Okay, so Kamma or Kamma Nimitta or Gati Nimitta. This is the object of all these Bhavangas, you see, including Da. Including Na. Even though the object has struck the door, the mind door, the object of these 2 chittas, these 2 Bhavangas is still Kamma Kamma Nimitta Gati Nimitta. Now, Panchadwara Vajana, what is the object? Panchadwara Vajana in this case, let's say in this case, Pachupana Rupa Ramana, right? Pachupana Rupa Ramana. You see, this Rupa Ramana, this is the Vatu. This is also the door. This is the Vatu for this Chitta, and it is the door for all Chittas, you see? This Rupa. Here we have the object Rupa, okay? The Vana Rupa, Rupa Ramana, arising, standing, perishing, okay? We have the Vatu. So this Rupa Ramana impinges on this Chakupasada. And then the whole Viti occurs taking this Rupa Ramana as object, right? And this Chakupasada, you see, it serves as a base for Chakuvinyana, but it serves as a door for all the Viti. Right? Now the object is Rupa Ramana, this present Rupa Ramana. You see, it's existing. Pachupana Rupa Ramana. So Panchadwara Vajana take this Pachupana Rupa Ramana. Pachupana Rupa Ramana. Right? This Rupa over here, right? And then the Chakuvinyana again will take the same. Sampatichana will take the same, you see? The same, all the same. The same Rupa is the object all until here. And then it will vanish together with the vanishing of the Tadaramana. So these are the objects. The objects are all the same, you see? Present, Pachupana Rupanamana. Present, visible object or visible data. Right? Visible form, you could say in English. So this is the object. And then the Bhavanga again will take Kamma Kamma Nimitta Gati Nimitta. Okay. So what about the jati of these chittas? What is the jati of these chittas? Dhammajota, for example. Jati. Remember what jati is? The nature. Nature. So jati we have akusala, kusala, vipaka, kiriya. Jati, right? So what is the Bhavanga chitta? Bhavanga chitta, what is the jati of Bhavanga chitta? Vipaka, right? Yes, remember? Vipaka, yes. Must be Vipaka, right? Abhyakata, you could say, no? So these jatis we could say here, this is Vipaka. Vipaka. Then these other Bhavangas, Tinada, also Vipaka, right? All Vipakas. All Vipakas over here. Okay, Panchadwara Vajana. What is the jati of Panchadwara Vajana? Kiriya Chitta, yes. Chakuvinyana. Yes, Vipaka could be Kusala Vipaka or Akusala Vipaka. Don't say Kusala, Akusala. No, it's Kusala Vipaka or Akusala Vipaka, right? Okay. Kusala Vipaka or Akusala Vipaka, depending on what? Do you remember? Today we can discuss, but depending on what? If the object is ittaramana or anittaramana, right? Yes. Itta or anitta. Okay. So, sampadichana, what is it? Itta and anitta. If it's itta ramana, then all the vipaka chittas are kusala vipaka. If it's anitta ramana, all the vipaka chittas are akusala vipaka. You mean the javana? Kusala vipaka, or you mean? Sorry? Now I was answering just in general, not in general. If Chakuvinyana is Kusala Vipaka, then all the Vipaka Chittas in that Viti are also Kusala Vipaka. You cannot have one Chitta is Kusala Vipaka, then the next is Akusala Vipaka. Will not happen like that. Okay? So we have, remember, I think we discussed this to some extent. The object, remember this aramana rasa. Aramana rasa, like the taste, the flavor of the object. We have itta, anitta, and majjata actually the object, remember we discussed, the object is either pleasant or unpleasant. There is no neutral object. There is a neutral feeling when you see an object, a pleasant or unpleasant object, as neutral. Then neutral feeling arises. But the objects themselves are either pleasant or unpleasant. To different extent, some are more unpleasant than others, right? Remember this? I made once like a small chart like this. We had, for example, pleasant, let's say itta, and then we have anitta. Okay? So there is no middle here, no neuter. Either it's anitta or itta, but some are more itta than others. So we have this term is useful, we can use. Instead of itta, on the itta side, there is a differentiation, ati itta and itta. Okay? So let's say up to this point, it will be itta, and then very pleasant is ati itta. There is this differentiation, and there is a reason for this differentiation. And there is no differentiation to the anitta side, because practically it makes no difference. To the viti, to the jati, it makes no difference. So there is no need to differentiate. But this differentiation is practical. It has a practical application. So if we have, itta, anitta, and ati, itta. Okay? Now, if itta ramana impinges, let's say on Rupa Ramana impinges on Chakupasada, Itta Ramana, okay? Itta Ramana. Now the Viti will run, as we were doing. Now the Vipaka Chittas will be Kusala Vipaka. So let's see the Jati of these Chittas, let's finish that. We did Kusala or Akusala Vipaka, the Vijnana. Now Sampadichana, what is it? Vipaka, Kusala or Akusala Vipaka, right? Remember we had two Sampadichana Chittas. One is Akusala Vipaka, one is Kusala Vipaka. So this is also Kusala or Akusala Vipaka. I'll put Vipaka. Santirana. Yeah, remember the Ahetuka Chittas, right? Remember the Ahetuka Chittas. Santirana we have how many? 3. One is akusala vipaka and 2 kusala vipaka. And that's the reason for the differentiation. So we have also vipaka chitta here. Now, Votapana. Votapana must be a kiriya chitta. Your decision, your judgment, your reaction to an object cannot be a vipaka. If our decision, our judgment, our reaction to things were vipaka, then we would have no control over our decisions. Do you understand? Do you understand what it means? For example, somebody may ask you, okay, today I decided to come and give this class. Is this decision vipaka? Is this as a result? Is it a result of maybe kusala kamma? I made this decision? What do you think? Or if let's say I decide to kill. Okay? So the killing, we know it's unwholesome. Unwholesome chittas arise. But that decision to kill, is it what? Is it a vipaka? Because of doing a kusala kamma in the past, as a result, you kill. No, it cannot be like that. Otherwise, you would have no control over your decisions. Yeah. The decision is a kiriya. It's just a function. It's just a decision. It is neither kusala, not akusala, and it is not a vipaka. You understand? The consequences of this, the nature of this chitta. The decision, yes, but the decision on the object is this kiriya. Then if you make the right decision on the object, if you judge the object according to reality, for example, as it is, for example, you see an anicca, the object is anicca, its nature is anicca, and you see it as anicca. It's the proper judgment, the proper perspective on the object, then kusala chittas will arise. With that, based on that decision. The decision is not kusala, but the chittas that ensue from that decision are kusala. Or kiriya, it depends. No? Intention? Intention is more like chetana chetasika, and that's more in the javana. The chetana, here in the Votapana, this decision, this kiriya decision, is the adhimokkha chetasika. Adhimokkha chetasika. Which chetasikas arise in Votapana chitta? Which chetasikas arise in Votapana chitta? 7 sabhachitta sadharana. How many pakinakas? Vitaka? Yes, vitaka. Vichara? Yes, vichara. Piti? No. Sukha? Sorry, Piti. Adhimokkha? Yes, adhimokkha. And virya? Virya, remember? What is the sampayoga? Virya does not arise in the first 16 ahetukas. Right? Votapana is not the first 16 ahetukas, right? Okay, what is the chitta for Votapana? Votapana chitta is which chitta? Manodwara chitta, yes. Manodwara vajana, right? Manodwara vajana chitta. And that's not one of the first 16, right? Yes. So it has virya. Adhimokkha, virya, and chanda. Chanda does not arise in the ahetukas and mohamuha, yes, momuha chittas. So here no chanda, you see? Only 4 pakinaka. And then after that we have 14 akusala chetasikas are not here. Sobhana chetasikas, not here. 11, right? 11 chetasikas in Votapana chitta. So this adhimokkha is important. It kind of makes this judgment on the object. And then depending on that judgment, we call this Yoniso-manaskara or Ayoniso-manaskara. Then you will have kusala or akusala for aseka, for putujana, right? Kiriya for arahants. Okay. So Votapana is done. Now javanas, what are they? Or what can they be? What is the jati? Kusala, yes. They can be kusala or akusala or kiriya. Right? They can also be kiriya, right? An arahant, he also has chakudwara viti, and these javanas run as kiriya. Right? So, okay, tadaramanas. Vipaka, remember? Which chittas are tadaramanas? 8 mahavipakas or 3 santiranas. Okay. So these are vipaka chittas. Vipaka. Okay. Now, let's suppose the object is pleasant. Ittaramana. Okay? Ittaramana. It's a pleasant object. Now, bhavangas, the same. Everything is the same. Now, when we reach Panchadwara Vajana, is a kiriya chitta. It is not affected by that pleasant object. Okay? But the Chakovinyana will be affected. Chakovinyana will be kusala vipaka. Kusala vipaka chakovinyana. Sampatichana vipaka as well, so it must be kusala vipaka. If one is kusala, all of the vipaka chittas are kusala. So maybe we could do here, for example, Ittaramana. Okay, Ittaramana over here. This I think I can remove. So if the object is Ittaramana, this is all the same. Here it will be Kusala Vipaka. Here it will be Kusala Vipaka. Now Santirana. Kusala Vipaka as well, right? But there are 2. Which of the 2? We have Upekha, one with Upekha Vedana, one with Somanasa Vedana. So, if the object is Ittha, Upekha Vedana arises. Okay? Upekha Vedana here. Upekha Santirana. Upekha. Okay? Now, Votapana is a kiriya. It is not affected. And then the javanas. What do you think will be the javanas? Kusala? If the object is ittha, can the javanas be kusala? If the object is ittha, can the javanas be kusala? Can, right? Can they be akusala? Can. Yes. Otherwise, everyone would have the same kusala mind for the same object. No, some people have kusala, some people have akusala with the same object, right? Even the Buddha, some people are angry with the Buddha, right? So, yeah. So, akusala chittas can arise with a pleasant object, right? So, these can still be kusala, can still be akusala, and if it's arahant, can be a kiriya as well. And then the tadaramanas will be also kusala vipaka. How many we have kusala vipaka? Tadaramanas. How many kusala vipaka tadaramanas? Supaphaso. Supaphaso. 10? Okay, 10. Are you sure? Santavirya. 11? How many kusala vipaka tadaramanas? Rakita Sila? How many kusala vipaka tadaramanas? 9, 8, 11. 1. Kusala vipaka. Kusala vipaka. How many tadaramanas? Dhammajada? How many kusala vipaka tadaramanas? Okay, tadaramanas are 8 mahavipaka and the 3 santiranas. 8 mahavipaka are kusala vipaka. Right? They are not akusala vipaka. Right? They are kusala vipaka. So you have already 8 tadaramanas. Now 3 santiranas. One of them is akusala vipaka, other 2 kusala vipaka. But if the object is itta, sorry. If the object is itta, then you just have 1 possibility of santirana. So you have 9 tadaramanas if the object is itta. If we just think of kusala vipaka, the answer is 10. The answer is 10. But considering an itta object, you have 9 possibilities of tadaramana, right? Okay. So you have here 9. 9 possibilities. Now that santirana will be the upeka santirana, not somanasa santirana. Do you understand? We have 3 santiranas. One is akusala vipaka. Now 2 kusala vipakas. One is somanasa, one is upeka. With the itta ramana, upeka arises. Only at the itta aramana, the somanasa arises. Okay? So you can also understand which santirana arises at the end, or which santirana can arise. Okay? Itta and atita? So there is a difference. The difference is the santirana and the tadaramana can be somanasa. That's the difference. And because of that difference, we differentiate between itta and ati itta. Okay? This is the practical difference, practical application, of the aramana rasa. This is why you don't have ati anitta. You understand? Because yes, an object can be more unpleasant than another, but it makes no difference in the chittas that arise. Okay? So let's say if it's ati itta, very pleasant object, ati itta, they will all be kusala vipaka, but this one will be somanasa. Somanasa if it's ati itta. And these, you will have also 9, but it will be somanasa. Somanasa santirana. Here, the first one you have upeka santirana. Okay? Okay. Now, what about an anitta object? Anitta object. What would happen with anitta object? I have no place here, but I'll just write it here. Anitta object, what happens? You have the kirya chittas are the same. These kusala, akusala, and kirya can also be the same, right? And these vipaka chittas will be akusala vipaka, you see? For example, if it's anitta, okay, anitta ramana, you have akusala vipaka. This also akusala vipaka. This will be akusala vipaka. There is only one option, you see? So this is why if an object is very unpleasant, like ati anitta, then it will still be the same. Okay? So you don't need this classification. Okay? It doesn't mean all the objects are the same. No, some are more unpleasant than others. But it makes no difference to the VT. Okay? But in the pleasant side, it makes a difference. Okay? So you will have them, okay, just akusala vipakas. Here you just have one option, akusala vipaka, only one option. Kirya, here you may have anything. Now tadaramanas, which tadaramana will arise? Huh? Akusala vipaka, tadaramana. Which are they? Only one, right? What is it? Upeka santirana. Yes, upeka santirana. Only upeka santirana for anitta. So there is only one tadaramana possible. Okay. What else? Which vijnana is this? Subhavasu. Try to tell me which vijnana is this. Do you remember we did 6 vijnana? What are the 6 vijnana? Chakku vijnana, sota vijnana, ghana vijnana, jivha vijnana, kaya vijnana, and mano vijnana. Okay. So now bhavanga chittas over here. What are they? Which vijnana? They are bhavanga. This is the function they are doing. But in terms of vijnanas, these 6 vijnanas, which are they? Mano vijnana, yes. This is mano vijnana, you see? Mano vijnana. In English is maybe mind consciousness. Mind consciousness. Okay? Mind consciousness. Normally mind and consciousness is the same, right? But here we need a little bit to use these words to go a little more in detail. Mano vijnana. So it's mind consciousness. What about Panchadwara Vajana? Panchadwara Vajana. Which type of vijnana is it? Not dhatu. Dhatu is another classification. Here is vijnana classification. There is also manovinyana dhatu, you know. We discussed, we touched on the dhatus, right? Manovinyana dhatu, that's another classification. That's a dhatu classification. Now we are using vijnana classification. So which vijnana is Panchadwara Vajana Chitta? Manovinyana, right? It's not Chakku Vijnana, Sota, Ghana, Jiva or Kaya Vijnana. 7? Yes, 7. This is the dhatu definition. Yeah, dhatus are 18. No, but you are saying, you see, when you're saying manovinyana dhatu. This is dhatu definition, dhatu classification. It's different from vijnana. Okay. You have vijnana, 6 vijnana, okay. 6 vijnana. We have Chakku vijnana, Sota vijnana, Ghana vijnana, Jiva vijnana, Kaya vijnana, Mano vijnana, right? So these are Dvipancha vijnana, the 10 vijnanas, right? And this is, you see, 79 chittas. Okay? 79 chittas. Now, dhatu classification, you will have more. You will have this. This will be divided in 2. Then you will have 7. Yeah. You have, in the dhatu classification, you have, for example, Chakku vijnana dhatu, Sota vijnana dhatu, Ghana vijnana dhatu, Jiva vijnana dhatu, Kaya vijnana dhatu. Now you have Mano vijnana dhatu and Mano dhatu. Mano dhatu, Mano vijnana dhatu. Remember? We discussed this already, no? Yeah. Okay? So here, what is Chakku vijnana dhatu? Let me write this a little better, but just... What is Chakku vijnana dhatu? You have Mano dhatu. I'll write the full thing. Mano dhatu and Mano vijnana dhatu. Okay? What is Chakku vijnana dhatu? Two Chakku vijnanas. Yes? These are also the 10 vijnanas. Okay? These are equivalent. Chakku vijnana dhatu is the same as Chakku vijnana. Okay? Now, Mano dhatu and Mano vijnana dhatu is the Mano vijnana divided in 2. You see? More detail. What is Mano dhatu? Yes, this is Mano dhatu. You have, remember the viti, and you have da, and then you have panchadwara vajana, and then you have one of the 10 vijnanas, and then you have sampatichana chitta. This and this is manodhatu. Manodhatu. Only these 3 chittas, because this can be 2, right? So 3 chittas are manodhatu. So manodhatu you have panchadwara vajana and 2 sampatichana. Okay? And now manovinyana dhatu, what is it? 70? 76. 76 remaining chittas. Okay? 18 dhatu. Chakku dhatu, chakku vinyana dhatu, and chakku dhatu, chakku vinyana dhatu, and rupa. Rupa, no? The rupa dhatu, no? Yes. So it's the vatu, the vinyana, and the object. So you have 3. So you do that for each door, and then you will have 18. 6 doors times 3, 18. So chakku, chakku pasada is the chakku dhatu, right? Then you have the chakku vinyana, which is chakku vinyana dhatu. And then the object of chakku vinyana is the rupa, rupa dhatu. Yes, these 3. Now, you have sota dhatu. What is sota dhatu? Is the sota pasada, rupa. Sota dhatu. Sota vinyana dhatu is the sota vinyana, the chitta. Right? And then saddha dhatu. The object of this chitta, saddha dhatu. So another 3. Then you have another 3, another 3, and another 3 for kaya. And then you have manodhatu, manovinyana dhatu, and dhamma dhatu. But this is not this lesson. Right? Okay? Manodhatu, manovinyana dhatu, and dhamma dhatu. Dhamma dhatu will include all the other realities apart from the other 17 dhatu. Okay, so here, in the classification of vijnana, not dhatu, okay? You can classify chittas according to vijnana or according to dhatu. So now I'm asking you about the vijnanas. So panchadwara vajana, which of the 6 vijnana is it? Not dhatu, vijnana. Manovinyana, right? Yes, vijnana is easier. You have just the 10 vijnana, chakku vijnana, and so on, and then manovinyana. All the other chittas are manovinyana. So this is manovinyana. Chakku vijnana is chakku vijnana. Okay, sampatichana is manovinyana. This manovinyana. This manovinyana, manovinyana, manovinyana. Everything manovinyana. Okay? Manovinyana. Easy, no? Just remember, vijnanas, you have the 10 vijnanas and everything else is manovinyana. Okay? Now what about dhatu? Okay, you want to do dhatu? So, which dhatu is this? Manodhatu? You have manodhatu or manovinyana dhatu. This is now what we have to choose. Now, okay, this is rupa dhatu, this is chakku dhatu. But what about these? Manovinyana dhatu, right? Yes, manovinyana dhatu. What about panchadwara vajana? Manodhatu, right? Yes, manodhatu. Manodhatu. Chakku vinyana? Chakku vinyana dhatu. Sampatichana? Manodhatu. These 2 together are manodhatu. Okay? Now this manovinyana dhatu, manovinyana dhatu, manovinyana dhatu, manovinyana dhatu. Okay, manovinyana dhatu ya tan sampayutakanam cha dhammanam. Okay. Okay. So one point I forgot to tell you last class, we were discussing, remember, the rupas. Okay. You have kamaja rupas, kama, chitta, utu, and ahara. Ahara jarupas, right? Kamaja rupas, they arise every anuchitta kana, remember? So if we were to, like, for example, one rupa arise, the other one will arise after one anuchitta kana, immediately over here, see? They arise every anuchitta kana. Remember this? Chittaja, they arise every chitta kana only in the upada of the chitta, right? Upada of the chitta. So let's say it is here. So this lasts one anuchitta kana, two anuchitta kana, three anuchitta kana. You will have another one, something like here. You see? So every three of these, you have one of these. Okay? Less often, less often. Uttujarupa, every anuchitta kana. Every anuchitta kana. Okay, like kamaja. And this one as well, every anuchitta kana. Only this one is less often. Okay, chitta jarupa. Now imagine, for example, any body of a table, a body of rupas. Okay? They pass away very quickly, right? They last just 17 moments. We say that in a snap of fingers or in the blink of an eye, billions of chittas pass. So many rupas will also pass away, arise and pass away, even at the blink of an eye. So why do we see objects so stable? Because they look like they don't change, right? They look very stable. So where does this stability comes from? Santati, yes. If the rupas pass away and vanish, why we don't see the object vanish? Something like that. All the rupas, for example, comprising this table, for example, they look very stable. It seems it's always there. Maybe some people may imagine the rupa always there, never changing.
Not the same time the rupa is
Vanishing, yes. They don't vanish at the same time. That's an important point, right? Many rupas maybe arise at the same time, but in the next moment, next anuchitta kana, there is another group of rupas arising, and the next chitta kana, another group of rupas arising, and then at some point, the older rupas pass away, but there is always new rupas. So there is always a certain amount of rupas which is existing in that body of rupas, right? So that's what it makes it seem like a constant thing, right? Another thing is that when one rupa arises, another rupa cannot arise on the same place, right? But as soon as it vanishes, another rupa can arise on that space. So the body of rupas, they will actually gradually be slightly what we would normally call like a movement. Yes, because some rupas, they have to arise just nearby the others. For example, imagine this. For example, one rupa arises over here, okay? Rupa kalapa, no? Not a rupa kalapa, right? Arises in a certain space. Now, another rupa cannot arise in that space, right? So let's say the next generation of Uttuja rupa, it will arise in an adjacent place, you see? Right? Then the next generation, next anuchitta kana, you will have another. Also nearby. And then another, you see? And then another. And this one is still existing. Right? So how many rupas will arise in adjacent locations before this one vanishes? 17? Remember, these are Uttuja rupas, for example. They arise every anuchitta kana. So not 17, anuchitta kana. 17 would be for Chitta Jarupas, right? Chitta Jarupas. You have one Chitta Jarupa. Okay? Now it will last for 17 Chittakana, right? But the next generation of Chitta Jarupa only arise after one Chittakana. So let's say this will arise, and then this, and then 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8, and 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. When this one arises, this one is vanishing. Then this one will pass away. Right? Now, there is a blank space over here when this passes away, right? The oldest rupa passes away, right? So now when the next one appear, it can take this place. And then the rupa that appears the second will vanish, and another one will appear. Another one can appear in its place, and so on. Can you imagine? Can you imagine this? So it will be very quickly, of course, but they are arising close to each other, each one lasting 17 Chittakana. And then when we experience the object, it looks like it doesn't change, right? Okay? So this is for Chitta Jarupas in the body. But Uttujarupas we would have more because they arise more often. So you would have this one, for example, arises, then the second arises on the next Anuchittakana. So now this one is in the second Anuchittakana. Then third Anuchittakana, fourth, fifth, it will go on until 51 Chittakanas, right? 51, so you will have 51 generations. And then the oldest one would disappear, and they would start disappearing, and so on. So later there is another chapter where we do this. We count how many rupas can arise, how many rupas are there in any given moment, right? 153, if I remember. Sorry? This was, I think, just according to my memory, I think it was a number of rupas, generations of kalapas that could, I have to review before I do it, but it's on these lines. In another chapter, we do, for example, kamajarupas. How many kamajarupas arise? For example, in the very beginning, we have 30 rupas, right? In the Patisandhi moment. Yes, we see in the Patisandhi how many rupas arise. And after 17 Chittakanas, the oldest rupas pass away and new ones are appearing. So it ends up as a fixed number throughout the life. And then at death, they pass away like this, right? So this one later we'll do. Okay, so this is why rupas appear as constant thing, appears as constant things. Mano Dwara Vitis. Okay. So actually, Panchadwarika Vitis, they are also in a way Manodwara Vitis. Because when an object strikes the eye, it also strikes the Manodwara. Right? So the Viti that ensues is also in a way Manodwarika. Right? Because it comes from the Manodwara. Right? So those Vitis, they have two doors. Chaku, Dwara, and Manodwara are involved in those Panchadwara Vitis. So Manodwara Vitis are Vitis that are only of the mind door. Yes. Because technically the mind door is involved in all Vitis. Right? All Vitis. So these are Vitis that involve or that arise only based on the Manodwara. Okay? So, Manodwara Vitis, we have two types. Main two types. Actually, we have several types, no? But we'll have Kama those that have Kama Javanas, and those that have Appana Javanas. Appana Javanas. So you could call them Kama Javanas Viti or just Kama Vachara Viti as well. Kama Vachara Viti. And then Appana Javanas, you can call them maybe Appana Vitis, or Appana Javanas Vitis. Okay? Now, Kama Javanas, we'll discuss today this one. The Kama Javanas, they are Manodwara Vitis that have only Kama Javanas. The Javanas cannot be Appana Javanas. Okay? They have only Kama Vachara Chittas. Kama Javanas. Right? Remember? What are the Kama Vachara Javanas? Javanas. If we have the Javanas, remember how many Javanas? 55 Javanas, no? What did you say? 29 Kama Vachara Javanas, right? Yes. We have Javanas, we have 29 Kama Javanas, and we have 26 Appana Javanas, yes. So what are these 29? 12 Akusala, okay. No, before. Hasitupada, and then 8 Mahakusala, and then 8 Mahakirya. Okay. Appana Javanas are? No. Okay, you can say, for example, 9 Mahagata Kusala, 9 Mahagata Kiriya, and 8 Lokotara. Yes. 26. Okay, so these Javanas, you see. Now, Appana Javanas, the Vitis, the Appana Javana Vitis, is not a Viti that only has Appana Javanas. No. It is a Viti that has at least one Appana Javana. Okay? That's an Appana Javana Viti. So Kama Javanas also arise in the Appana Javana Vitis, as you'll see. Okay? Don't think that this only has Kama Javanas and that one only has Appana Javanas. No. Okay? So Kama Javanas. Now, Kama Javanas Vitis, or Kama Javana Vitis, we have Vitis. This one we can also divide it in two. Now, you have certain Vitis, Manodwarika Vitis, Kama Javana Vitis, they take present rupas. Right? So, these Vitis, some they take present rupas, and they are Vitis that last 17 Chitta Kanas. So it's a 17 Chitta Kana long Viti. Okay? It's a Viti that lasts 17 Chitta Kanas. And then we have some Vitis that last less than 17 Chitta Kana Vitis. Okay? So in a way you could say these are longer Vitis, these are shorter Vitis. Okay? Now, what is the object of these Vitis? This is what determines the length of the Viti, is the object. These 17 Chitta Kana Vitis, they have, do you remember, among the 28 rupas, we have 28 rupas, right? Altogether. And then, remember the lifespan of rupas? We discussed the lifespan of rupas, right? So, 22 rupas have a long lifespan. So, they are long-lived. Long-lived. They live 17 Chitta Kana. Okay, that's the full lifespan, right? Then, 6 rupas are short-lived. Short-lived. And some of them last 1 Anuchitta Kana, remember? Some Jarata, for example, 49 Anuchitta Kana. So they differ. They are not all the same, but they are all less than 17 Chittakanas. Less than 17 Chittakana. Okay, so this is important now. The Vittis that take 17 Chittakanas, they take as object, they take, I'll put as take 22 and Pachupana. Pachupana rupas that last 17 Chittakana. Okay? 22 Pachupana rupas that last 17 Chittakana. Okay? What are those rupas? These 22, except these 6, which is Vinyati, right? And Lakkhana rupas. Lakkhana rupas, right? All the other rupas, they last 17 Chittakana. Okay? So this Vitti takes them when they are present. Only present. If they are past or future, then it is not necessary. The Vitti can be shorter. Okay? So these are, the object of these Vittis are present. You see, Pachupana rupas. These 22 long-lived rupas. When they are present. Now the other Manodwara Vitti, this one, can take as object all else, you could say. All else. Everything else. Everything else. Okay, what is everything else? What is everything else? What is everything else? We have chitta, chittas, chittasikas, rupas except these, and nibbana and panyati. So you have all else. What is this all else? We have, for example, 89 chittas, right? 52 chittasikas, chittasikas. How many rupas? 6 rupas, 6 short-lived rupas. Do you understand? Short-lived rupas. Okay? Short-lived rupas are these, right? Okay. And then, any more rupas? These, they take only Pachupana, you see? So these 22 rupas, also here, but only, these are the long-lived rupas, but only past or future. Past or future. The other things are past, present, or future. So, past, present, or future. Okay, this applies to all these objects. This one, only past and future. If it's present, it's this Vitti. Okay? What else? Nibbana. Nibbana and Panyati. Nibbana and Panyati. Panyati. Okay? So you have to remember here that this one takes 22 Pachupana rupas, then the other takes everything else. If you remember that, I think it's enough. You just have to remember that past and future is here, you see? These rupas in the past or in the future are taken by this Vitti. Okay? This is, you have to remember this. Okay? Now, 17 Chittakana Vitti. Okay. This is the Vitti that lasts 17 Chittakana. Manodwara Vitti that lasts 17 Chittakana. Okay. Now imagine the Rupa arises. Remember, Rupa arises, it lasts 17 Chittakana, and then it vanishes. So we have the same object. Now, the Viti. What is the Manodwara Viti, the standard Manodwara Viti? We come from Bhavanga, right? So, if it is taking a present object, we use Ti to show the arising of the object when it arose, right? Now let's say in the next my moment it impinges. Now it impinges not on the Chakupasada, like the first VT we were doing, right? We had a Chakupasada over here, right? It will impinge directly on the Manodwara. Directly on the Manodwara. So now we have Na when the object impinges, Da when the flow of Bhavanga is interrupted, and then we have Manodwara Vajana, not Panchadwara Vajana, right? The mind, the Bhavanga, turns to that new object. Okay. After Manodwara Vajana, we have directly Javanas. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 Javanas. And then we may or may not have the Tadaramanas. This is what we'll discuss now. And then Bhavangas. Now, how many Bhavangas? This Viti is shorter than the Chakudwarika Viti, right? So how many Bhavangas we'll have until the object passes away? Let's say this is the first, you see? Second, my moment, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th. We have a 15th, 16th, 17th. You see? So when you draw this Viti, if the object is present, you have to add those Bhavangas. You should not just stop over here, you see? Because you show the entire lifespan of the object. Okay? Okay, so this is the Viti. So to say, Viti Chittas. And then we have all this. Okay. Now, the same can happen in the mind door. The object may strike later. Right? So then you would have a T, and then another T. Let's say it doesn't impinge on the second, and it impinges on the third mind moment. Na. Then everything is later, right? Da and Manodwara Vajana, and then we have 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7. And then we have one Tadaramana over here, one Tadaramana over here. And we'll have how many? 1, 2, 3 Bhavangas before the object passes away. So the Viti is still complete. Same amount of Chittas see the object and everything, right? You see? Okay, so let's mark the Viti like this. Okay. Now, later. Or you want me, can I do the short version? A little shorter, easier, a little faster. So Na will be here, right? So before Na is Ti. Okay, right? Da. And we have, again, Manodwara Vajana, or maybe I'll do it like this. Na. And then, and this Tadaramana will be over here, see? Tadaramana will be over here. And then we'll have Bhavanga, Bhavanga. Okay? You understand? Now, if impingement occurs even later, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over here, Na. So before now we have Ti. And then continues the same Viti over here. And this Tadaramana will be here, you see? And one Bhavanga. Okay, the Viti is still the same. Now, one more over here, impingement a little later, Ti before, and then the Viti flows in the same way, and this Tadaramana will be right at the last lifespan of the object, right? So with the vanishing of that Tadaramana, the object will vanish. Okay? So it should be around here, no? The vanishing of the object. Okay. Now, what happens later? Those tadaramanas will not have enough time, right? We have here ti and na impinges over here. And now this tadaramana would be later. Remember what happens if one tadaramana cannot arise? Then no tadaramana arise. So this tadaramana cannot happen, you see. There was another behind, cannot happen. We would have the last javana over here. Okay, let me draw this whole viti. Tina. Problem is that now here is a little difficult to follow. Na, da, ma. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now no tadaramanas, right? This tadaramana cannot take a past object. Cannot take a past object. So then we'll have directly bhavanga. You see, only one bhavanga, right? I think so, no? Did I count right? Is it correct? It is, no? Just one bhavanga, right? Okay, so the viti will stop over here, no? Yes. You have the book, right? Yeah. You see? So now the viti is a little shorter. Now, even later, na. If it impinges over here, then this javana will be here at the end, right at the end of the lifespan of the object, and it will stop. Now the bhavangas, if you draw the bhavangas, is okay. It's after the passing of the object, the vanishing of the object. So now if it impinges even later, then we didn't discuss this. Lady Sayadaw says that it can be even shorter. If there are no javanas, remember what happens? In the Panchadvara Vichini, when there are no javanas, then we have votapanas, remember? 2 or 3 votapanas. Remember this? If there is no time for one votapanas, at least 2. If there is no time for votapanas, then no vitichitas. Remember that? So in the Manodwara, for the Manodwara Viti, we didn't discuss this, it's not in the book. Lady Sayadaw suggests, or he thinks, that it could be shorter. Then there would be Manodwara Vajana, Manodwara Vajana, Manodwara Vajana. And then cut this, and then stop. If there is no place for these 2 Manodwara Vajanas, then it becomes only 2 na, na, na. Okay? But this is not in our book. I don't know if this is in the commentaries or not. This is Lady Sayadaw only, I think. So this is as far as we go right now. Okay? So now, you could divide these 7 VTs, right? You see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 VTs, you can divide them into 2 groups. One that has Tadaramana, one that doesn't have Tadaramana. Okay? So the ones that have Tadaramana, we call it Vibhuta Ramana. Vibhuta Aramana. So all of these are Vibhuta Aramana. So what is Vibhuta Aramana is like a clear object. It's an object that is clear, maybe very distinct. This word in English, distinct. A distinct object. Vibhuta may be clear, you can use clear or distinct. Distinct. Clear, distinct object. And then the vitis that the object strikes later, it's weaker, it's seen by less chittas, so it's maybe avibhuta, no? Indistinct. Avibhuta Aramana. Avibhuta Aramana, maybe could say in English unclear, or I think it's indistinct. Indistinct. What is the prefix for this one? Distinct. I think it's undistinct. Yeah, undistinct. undistinct, unclear, undistinct. Okay? So, this is it, you see? If we don't consider what Lydia Serra suggests, these are the options. Because here, if there is no Javana, then there would be no VT. Okay? If we don't consider what Lady Serra says. So, altogether we have these 7 VTs that last 17 Chittakana. Okay? That's the summary. You have 7 VTs. 7 VTs. 5 of them are Vibhuta. 2 of them are Avibhuta. Okay? Okay. Now, these, remember, these take, I'll put here the object, no? 22 Pachupana Rupas. That last 17 Chittakana. Okay. Now, let's do the next Viti. So this was this Viti, right? 17 Chittakana Viti takes 22 Pachupana Rupas. Okay, you have 5 Vibhuta, 2 Avibhuta. Okay, now this Viti, less than 17 Chittakana, if it's taking a past Rupa, or if it's taking a Chitta as object, or if it's taking a Chittasika as object. Okay, this is Manodwarika Viti. That lasts less than, you know this symbol? 17 Chittakanas. Less than, yes. Less than and greater than. Right? Less than and greater than. Okay. This Manodwara Viti less than 7 Chittakanas, then you do not have a present Rupa. So I don't need to draw here Rupa. Or any object, any Rupa here. It's usually the Rupa, right? So we don't need this. We have Bhavanga. And then the object strikes. You see, Na, Da. You have Ma as well, Manodwara Vajana. You have the Javanas. 4, 5, 6, 7. And you may or may not have Tadaramanas. So let's say you have Tadaramanas first. So you have this option of Viti, and you have Bhavanga, Nada, Manodwara Vajana, 7 Javanas, and no Tadaramanas. Okay, these are the 2 Vitis that you have. Finish. So this one with Tadaramana you call Vibhuta. Clear, right? It's taken by more Chittas. And then without Tadaramana, Avibhuta. Right? So here, Vibhuta. And this one, Avibhuta. Previous and this? This, the previous one was a present object. We had a Rupa arising and passing away. Remember? Then the Viti lasts 17 Chittakana because that's the lifespan of the Rupa. Right? Here you may have a past object or you may have a Chitta as object. For example, now we'll discuss some cases. For example, you remember something you have seen in the past. Or you pay attention to, for example, Dukkha Vedana. Or you remember happiness you experienced in the past. Right? These objects are from this Viti. Manodwara Viti is not a Chakudwarika Viti, right? Sota, Ghana, Jiva, not these Vitis, not Panchadwarika Viti, is a Manodwara Viti. Only the mind door is involved. And then you take that past object, or a future object, or even a present object, but not those 22 long-lived. And then the Viti will be like this, you see? This is the standard mind door Viti.
These two is only arise by themselves. Like seven
Ah, you mean Anubandhaka? No, not necessarily. No, Anubandhaka, okay, remember we have, in Manodwara Vitis, we have the Viti that follows the Chakudwarika Viti, right? But that's also taking a past object. So it's not that. Not the one we just did, not the 17 Chittakana one. This is taking a present object. Yeah, present object. Okay? Sometimes the mind can take directly an object. For example, we'll discuss now the Mahachetya case. It's in the book, I think. No? Mahachetya case. And for example, when you're doing like Abhinya, for example, Dibachaku, you're seeing present objects, but only with the mind door. Present objects, but only with the mind door. No Chakudwara involved. Okay? Okay, so do you understand this? These VTs, little bit, it's not very easy to remember them, I felt, for myself. A little bit, not something that really sticks in the mind. So here, one more thing about this Manodwara Viti that less than 17 Chittakana. Do you remember the law, let's say the laws with regard to Tadaramanas? Remember Tadaramanas, they only with Kamma Vachara being, Kamma Vachara Bhavanga, we could say. Only if the Javanas are Kamma Vachara, so here is could be okay as well. And only if the object is Kamavachara, right? Kamavachara object as well. So, if we have Tadaramana in this Vibhuta Ramana Viti, it means the object is Kamavachara. So there is this another distinction that you have here, you see, objects less than 17 Chittakanas, they take all other objects, but you have two types. Vibhuta takes only Kamavachara objects, and Avibhuta takes all of these objects, all of these. Do you understand? So basically there are three object ranges you have to remember. This one takes 22 Pachupanarupas, long-lived ones. Okay. Now these take everything else, but if it's Vibhuta with Tadaramana, it's only the Kamavachara. You understand? So if we put over here, for example, we have the 17 Chittakana Vitis. What is the object? 22 Pachupana Rupas that less 17 Chittakana. Okay. Now we have those that less than 17 Chittakana Viti. We have two. One is Vibhuta. Vibhuta has Tadaramana, right? What is the object range? Is limited to Kamavachara. Kamavachara. So everything that is Kamavachara except 22 Pachupanarupa. So what is it? Tell me. Follow the same order always. Chitta Chitta Sika Rupa Nibbana, for example. It's the same order. Chittas. Which chittas? Huh? Sorry? Kamavachara. 54, yes. 54 Kamavachara Chittas. 54 Kamavachara Chittas, not 89, because of the Tadaramana. You see? Tadaramana limits the range of this Viti, okay? So 54 Kamavachara Chittas. Chetasikas? 52 Chetasikas. Yes, in them, okay, not Chetasikas in Rupa Vachara or Arupa Vachara, no. So 52 Chetasikas in them. What about Rupas? Here is what you have to think. Rupas, 6 Rupas, you could start from them. 6 Rupas, they are the short-lived Rupas, right? Short-lived Rupas. And then what else? 22 long-lived Rupas. Huh? Yes, must be past or future. Okay, past or future. What else? Kamavachara. Yeah, you see? Finished, right? Because Nibbana, Tadaramana cannot take. And Panyati, Tadaramana cannot take. Okay? They cannot go together, yes. Tadaramana is a little picky. It doesn't go anywhere. Okay, so these are Kamavachara objects among those, how do we call them? And when Bhante Magavihari was teaching, we called them group A objects, group B objects. Huh? In what? In the book? Yes, in the book I think we started using this just to make it easier, no? For example, this we call just for the sake of a name. This is not in the Abhidhamma, no? But is the group A objects. And these we can call group B objects. These are Kamavachara among group B objects. Okay, these are Kamavachara only among the group B objects. And then the Avibhuta Ramana Viti, no Tadaramanas. So we have all the object range except group A objects. So we can call them all except group A objects, right? So this is called group B. Group B objects. Okay? You understand? You group A objects, group B objects, or Kamavachara among group B objects. So these are the 3 object ranges. Yeah. This one?
Yeah, this one.
Okay.
It is less than 17 chitta kana, but
Less than 17
there is
Chittakana.
some 22 rupa, Atita and future also arise in this one.
Yes, but then you don't need to cognize it for 17 Chittakana. You can cognize it for shorter time, yes. You understand? You will have that rupa, for example, past rupa, you'll have it as object over here, you see? It's Kamavachara. Okay, for example, past rupa ramana, how would be the Viti over here? Past rupa ramana is not the 17 Chittakana Viti. So you don't need to show the Atita Bhavangas and many Bhavangas later, right? It's not a present object. So you'll have a normal Manodwara Viti, And here you will have the past rupa as object here, but only these my moments. You see, 1, 7, 8, 9, 10. Only 10 moments you are paying attention to that object, past object. If it's a concept as well, those 10 my moments, you will have that concept as an object. So anything else, a chitta, even though a chitta lasts 1 my moment, right? But you can take it for repeatedly. Then there is some discussion about how would the, chittoparianyana, mind reading, when you penetration of other people's minds, no? So if the mind, if you're seeing the present mind, how does this viti, the viti works? It's present in one chitta, because imagine you are taking a present chitta, right? Chitta only lasts for 1 my moment. Finish. So the jhavanas, actually, if it impinges, the chitta would already pass away over here, you see? So on this moment, it's already a past chitta. Right? So this Bhante didn't explain, but he said, for example, you know that there is a law, a principle, that in one viti, normally the object, the kala of the object is the same. You cannot have, for example, the present rupa becoming past rupa in the middle of the viti. Remember? This is why we don't have the tadaramanas, this is why we don't have the jhavanas and so on. It doesn't become past object in the middle of the viti, but when this law is not taken as binding, it's not applied if you are in these cases, for example, of knowing other people's minds. You're knowing the present mind. You can also know past and even future minds with this opinion. But if you're taking the present mind, then it cannot be present for all this viti. So you'll have to maybe either the kala of the object will change, or you're always taking a very recently past object. Do you understand? But for now, you just think, I hope you understand, no, to some extent. Here you are more free. You're free to take the object longer, you know? It's a past object or a future object, for example. So if you see Ruparamana, past Ruparamana, you'll have it here as object. Since it is past, you don't need to show Atita or anything like that. And it doesn't involve the Chaku Vatu. It doesn't involve Chaku Dwara. It is just Manodwara, remembering that object by itself. Right? Okay, no? So, okay, we did Vibhuta, Avibhuta. We have done these. Now I think I'll give you a few questions. Right? Just paying attention sometimes is not enough. It's good to think. It's good to think by yourselves. So let's come up with some questions. Okay, take a paper or something. Huh? Huh? Sorry? Maybe I'll include anything we have learned so far, I think. No? So, okay, quiz.